Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. I apologize. I'm trying to get comfortable. I want to see if I can do something here. I'm over in the lovely sunroom with my blackboard background. That's, what are they called? Like adhesive things that turn it into a blackboard. Oh my goodness, I can't reveal my shirt. It's the one that's politically incorrect. I always say that and I feel people are going to think it says something awful. It doesn't. It's a team that when I went to high school, what the team was called. Look at my hair. I'm so sure. Static Cling. And, of course, my lovely dried up fever blister. Thanks to Betty Loco for recommending the Gold Bond. Boy, it dries it up immediately, but it also dries up everything else in sight. So, I'm not really coming at you to go on about my fever blister and my hair that looks like the Pat Benatar video. What was it called? Something where her hair just went straight up. I forget the name of the video, which is really odd for me because I normally remember that kind of thing, but I can't remember what I said 3 seconds ago. Wow, that was quite a monologue. At any rate, what you're seeing behind me is, of course, some artwork from when the child was 4 years old, I believe, at the babysitter down in Conneaut Lake, a woman who practically raised the child. We always dropped him off there. I'm kidding, no, but it was a nice family environment when I had to work or when my ex-husband had to work or whatever. And the Lonesome Dove map, the journey they took, from Lonesome Dove, Texas to Montana. You won't be able to see it. And then, of course, there we have our dear sweet Gus and Woodrow, given to me by a dear sweet friend of mine who lives in West by God, Virginia. Okay, the reason why I'm coming at you is to I watched a couple of things recently, and I don't like to recommend anymore because it's gotten me into some trouble, but I do feel comfortable recommending these 2 videos. Last night, I looked at an interview. It was Jimmy Dore, Jimmy, D-O-R-E. He spoke with Peter Lavelle of RT International. Peter is based over in Moscow and has been for the last 20 years. Really worth your while. If you just go over to Jimmy Dore's channel, it should be the first thing you see. Also, recently, something kind of bizarre has happened. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. This is much better, and plus I can get Louise in the background sleeping. She's still under the weather. I'll explain that in a minute. But, yeah, Jimmy Dore, I already went over that. And then, I'm moving a little funny because I did things I shouldn't have done yesterday. I'm sorry, I apologize. I wasn't going to move the table. I wasn't going to do anything or vacuum. I didn't vacuum. A little bit in the 1 bedroom. But I just had to. I couldn't have that table out here anymore. It was driving me nuts. Everything has to be in its place here, I'm sure. If that means that it looks like a tornado went through and things landed gently yet effectively. Okay. This video, a couple days ago, it came into my recommendation area and I watched it. And then since then, a couple of friends of mine have gotten with me by way of email or in private and said, "Oh, Lisa, we know you like this kind of thing. It's really good. Take a look at it." So it's like synchronicity is in play. And I wrote it down. It's called, and I can't even read my own writing because okay. Why the Sumerian Civilization is Way Too Controversial for Mainstream History. Why the Sumerian Civilization is Way Too Controversial for Mainstream History. And you know how I like to look into the Sumerian texts. I think it's really interesting. This was pretty comprehensive and good. And if you want to, if you feel like it, if you're in the mood, you might want to just look that up on YouTube. I think it's 1 hour and 24 minutes. And maybe you could, I don't know, well, before bed or something, or listen to it while you do other things. Whatever the case may be. So those 2 things I thought that I was comfortable coming at you and saying, I looked at them. If you'd like to look at them, you go for it. If, my recommending days, I'm not sure. I guess I do kind of recommend those, though. I'm just going to recommend. I'm just going to be bold and recommend them. There's our little mascot in the background. So, Louise, yes, what we think happened is she's kind of goofy in terms of when Todd was alive, when Todd lived, he had to kind of teach Louise how to play and do other cat things. It was strange. I'm not real sure why. But she just didn't know a lot about being a cat. So, they were both kittens when we got them. The backstory is too detailed right now to go into because I only want to make this 6 minutes at the most. And she's not real sure, like when she murders a mouse and stuff, that you're not supposed to eat that one thing in there, one of the organs. I forget what it's called. I do. I apologize. The spleen, maybe? I'm not sure. Something that shouldn't be eaten when an animal murders another. And we think that's what's happening with her, and it's not turning out too well, if you know what I mean. She's a little bit under the weather. Noticed this happened after she brought a mouse up the other day from under the house, and then Marie got it away from her, and Marie did the cutest thing, took it over and dropped it at Zoe's feet. Zoe, the matriarch. Zoe looked at it and trotted away. I think Zoe's live and let live now, especially since she's in her golden years. Like cats really sit there and think, live and let live. I like to think they do, so just play along with me, please. Yeah, so then the other night we heard some more activity of a mouse nature, and I think that's what's going on with her. I think she doesn't know what she's doing. She's, fairly good at murdering, but she's not good with completing the job appropriately and keeping herself from not getting sick. That's all. I know this is a captivating video. I actually have to work today. I know it's going to be a rough work week. I just know it, although I shouldn't think that way. I should try to think in a more positive way. But generally speaking, these last 2 weeks of January are hideous. Hideous. I remember last year freaking out and getting with my boss saying, oh my God, is the paper going to make it through the year? Everybody was sort of in a panic over, our new so-called leader, Donald J. Trump, President Trump. And they were clutching pearls and this, that, and the other thing. And other people were having buyer's remorse and, whatever. It was just one of those deals where I thought that it wouldn't be a very tremendous year. And it was pretty good. It was okay. It's not the greatest, but we're all living. So, okay, that's all. My goodness, I won't shut up. Love you. Launching with Lisa, the video series, and has been launching. While coming at you with thoughts of the day, please join me. Join others. Drop your political identities. Let's focus on issues. Leave labels at the door. Research before you judge. And remember that war is a racket. General Smedley Butler. The end. Oh, let's leave it here. Okay.